Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're going to get straight into a video awareness. Be careful in Tenerife. And this lady was near Veronica's and got her basically bag snatched, but actually fought back, not physically, but in a way where she confronted some of the gang. This is so brave, but fair play to her. She did get her stuff back.
Well, hello. I'm in Tenerife, and this is an awareness video. Um, I was in two minds about whether to make it or not. Um, I lived here for 19 years, and I thought I was pretty clued up in the going on that go on here in Tenerife. But on the first night of our holiday, I met my brother and his wife. We'd had four drinks and had finished, and they were leaving the next day. We were going back to our room. It had been a long day. And we're sitting on the wall outside our hotel, and one of the guys from Senegal came along. I actually speak a bit of Wolof and knew one about 30 years ago, Louis. That's what I was saying, talking to him. And then when I went to get my hotel key out of my real Burberry purse, my purse was gone. Credit cards, COVID card, driving license, euros, sterling, everything. And because I was so angry, and that this holiday was meant to be a relaxing break after 8 months of cancer, I don't know what it was. The anger in me, I just was like a banshee woman. Marched down to where they all hang out down at Las Americas, found the guy, explained, I have cancer, I am here just as a break. How can you do this? I know Lewis. What are you doing? I used to live here. Anyway, I pleaded with them. The guy went away. He had a stash of a whole load of different bags. If I had called the police, he'd have scarpered. I wouldn't have had him for 2 seconds. There would have been no point other than causing more drama. But I pleaded with them, told them I actually even collect for asylum seekers in Belfast. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, I was fuming, raging, angry, upset, and he came back with my hotel key, one of my cards, and my cancer card, and I froze the other card on my bank account. I'll never see the purse again. One of them gave me his number and started pinging photos of purses to me at 4:30 in the morning. Then is the
I tell you what, she's got some bottle to basically, because she's lived there, she probably's thinking at the end of the day, I've got to think on my feet here. And probably that experience of living out there, she realised she can call the police because they don't do a lot about it, and they just give you just report it, and then they pretend they're doing something. That report just goes onto a file that you've lost it and you never found it, and it's basically, stop your bank cards and claim for your insurance. This is how it works over in Tenerife. You hear so many people losing their phones, money, gold, or property that is sentimental to them, and the Guardia Civil just basically put it on a list of stuff at the end of it, and you don't really find it. For her to confront them, one, she's got some bottle, and two, she explained, you're ruining people's lives. It's like this poor lady, had cancer, and that holiday was to, improve her health. And obviously the gangs who are out there who were doing this is absolutely sickening, because, like I said, what if that was the last bit of money she had? Do you know what I mean?
is this your stuff? Is this your stuff? the next day, come down and see him tonight. I said, I don't want to go anywhere near him. I never want to see any of you ever again. It was like a really, really eye-opening experience. My friends who live here took me for dinner last night and told me even worse stories. So it's really just to say,
An awareness
be careful. They're coming in from Senegal by the boatloads. They have nothing. Some of them don't even have flip-flops or shoes. So just be very, very careful. Always wear a crossbody bag. Don't have your phone open in your hand. And just be careful. I just couldn't believe that happened to me. And I thought I was flipping. Anyway, it was a really bad start to the holiday. I have to try and let it not annoy me too much. But I just thought I would do a post to let you know, just be really, really careful. All right, bye.
Very, very interesting story by the lady, and it was very brave of her to try to get her stuff back, and actually getting her stuff back, to be honest. And she fought tooth and nail for it and explained to the guy basically that she had cancer, and for her going away and saving her hard-earned money and then being robbed by these crooks who some of them are asylum seekers, some of them have been there a while selling market goods without paying for a pitch at the end of the day, and then at night they're on the strip basically getting basically people on holiday, customers rugs if they want them at the end of the day. And these are the people that end up, you know, technically getting robbed after their evening, after some of these people have been dealing with them and watching how they react, especially if they're on their own, or that break or that group breaks up and everyone goes their own way. And then you get some chilling around basically the walk under tunnels and stuff like that, and quiet areas, which, you know, if there's more than 10, 11 of them and there's only one of you, you haven't got really no chance, and it sometimes can be very, very intimidating as well. So that was interesting. But like I said, she'd lived there, that woman, for a very, very long time, and basically was not going to back down. And I respect that. But it was dangerous in a way. But in some ways, she dealt with it correctly, because, like I said, she could have gotten the police involved, but she knew that she wasn't going to see her back again. So she did, you know, show a lot of wit there. Let's move on. My first and last time to Tenerife for a while, and this is by Ruby Carr.
Station when I lost my bag, and just to see if anyone had handed it in, which they hadn't. After they said no one's handing my bag in, I just kind of thought, you know what, I'm not going to get it back anyway. Like, my holiday insurance, it didn't cover gadgets and everything. It was like the very basic one, which is a bit stupid of me, but anyway. On the last day, my friend who I went with, her boyfriend was also in Tenerife, and he got his phone stolen. So he wanted to go to the police station to actually report it. So I was like, oh, I may as well go and report mine as well. But there was allowed to be 2 people that went into like the police station, like in the actual room.
Yeah, sort of two kills.
So me and him went in, and like obviously we had to give like a little story time on what the fuck happened, how we got robbed. The police, I mean, all the people that were sat in the waiting room, they were all there to tell their story on how they got robbed. Like, when we went in there, the police literally looked so fed up, because you could tell that he'd probably heard the same story about 20 fucking million times that day. He's like asking us all, like, what did they look like? And obviously we don't know like the nationality, we don't know where they're from, they're literally just on the strip. So my friend's boyfriend, his phone got robbed at a different time to mine, so he was telling his story first, and pretty much said how like one of the lucky men on the street were trying to sell him something, and like they were like, oh, like, try to put his arm around him, being like, oh, do you want to buy this? And he said no. He was wearing shorts, and his phone was in the shorts. He didn't even realise. As he said, oh no, thank you, he's pulled the phone out of his pocket. So the police was like, oh, was it one of the black lucky men? And he had said yeah. And then he was like, like they do it all the time, pretty much. The police, they pretty much kind of said like there's not a lot that they could do unless you had like phone insurance or, you know, holiday insurance that cover the gadgets, which I didn't have either, to be honest with you. When we were outside waiting, there was actually this man and this woman, like this couple. They'd said, like, oh, have you been robbed as well? And we'd said, yeah. So they were telling us the story and how they've been robbed and stuff. This woman, I felt so bad for her because, like, the situation I was in, it wasn't too bad. Like, I was still getting money and stuff. Like, when I went home, I knew I was going to be fine. Woman, she literally said, like, I don't know why they would have wanted to take my phone. It's probably like the oldest version of Samsung, and that's all it took, just the Samsung phone. Just with her phone alone being stolen, she was saying like her whole bank accounts have been drained, like she's got nothing. And her boyfriend was saying how he had like 360 on her phone, so he could see that the phone was literally charging, like the phone hadn't been switched off or anything. So they had the location of her phone. They said like they went to the apartment which she was at, and it was this woman that opened the door. The woman practically just denied it and like shut the door in the face. So obviously they went to the police to say like, we know the location, we know where the phone's at, and the police wouldn't go to the woman's apartment. Whereas with my phone, what I think they've done is took the SIM card out and like obviously changed the SIM card. Because when I was looking on my friend's phone, it would say like last active the day that it was stolen. There was a lot of people there that I knew, and about 5 or more people that I knew literally got robbed of the phones. Like, luckily we've all been fine. Like, we've all been in a situation where, you know, we knew we were going to be fine. But obviously with that woman, she was literally saying like she has no idea what she's going to do because she's got no money or anything. Like, she probably wouldn't even be able to get home. It's like really scary. But yeah, no, the Spanish police, they're probably sick of fucking English people going away to Tenerife and getting robbed because of how many times it's happened.
Very, very interesting stuff by Ruby there. Seems like to me that basically organised crime is massive in Las Americas, especially with the asylum seekers that have come over and are hustling to make money, and then they get involved in gangs and rugs and stuff like that. But a lot of these, you've got to remember, they're professional thieves and professional criminals at the end of the day. And Hyvid Stories is that because they're in gangs as well, and 1 or 2 of you go over there to get your stuff back, they're very threatening at the end of the day. And like I said, you do sometimes feel a little bit intimidated and worried. And the police tend to, just turn a blind eye to it at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Just put in a report. What did the guy look like at the end of the day? And you probably won't see this guy again. It's lucky. Obviously, the first woman was very, very lucky that she actually got her stuff back at the end of the day. It's just being awareness and keeping your bag close to you. And I know it sounds crazy, but like I said, checking your pockets regular, especially when you're near them or in a situation where someone's getting too uncomfortably close to you to access your pocket. But they're brilliant because they sleight of hand where they've done it so much at the end of the day and you don't feel a thing could actually just save you from basically a lot of things of getting robbed in Las Americas and the Veronica area. You know, it's very, very important to be very, very cautious. Interesting stuff, but like I said, a lot of people have said are in 2 minds of going there. Sometimes after hearing some of these stories, one was before Jay Slater and the other one was after. Just be alert in what's around you, and like I said, have fun, but you know, don't leave your friends. That's one of the main things at the end of the day, because some of the problems always come to the ones that they're on their own and they've got drunk, and then, you know, they're sort of basically pinpointed by these gangs for you to be robbed or rugged or even taken up to the mountains or something.